All right, episode 6 of the Lonnie and Ryan podcast, and we have a special guest on here this week. And before I introduce yourself, I kind of wanted to tell a funny story, okay, and how all of this transpired. So last week, after we dropped the last episode that we did, I was sitting on the couch, just kind of scrolling through the comments, and like I always do, right? We love the comments on the podcast. And I came across your comment, and now that I'm thinking about it, I don't even remember what you said. But for some reason, and I rarely do this, for some reason, I clicked on your name. I'm like, who is this guy? Hot Lunch Reselling. So I went and I looked at your channel, and I'm like, wow, this guy's been at this for a while. It looks like he's actually really gaining some traction lately as well. And I'm like, I kind of like what this guy's doing. So I instantly screenshotted your channel and I sent it to Lonnie. And Lonnie said, dude, I was thinking the same thing. I know who this guy is already a little bit. And I was going to ask you if we should have him on. I'm like, what? Yeah. I'm like, all right, well, then he's going to be our next guest if he's interested in doing it.
Legit, man. I saw the same comment you're talking about, and I was going to message you later on, but you beat me to the punch. And as soon as you did that, I was like, okay, it's supposed to happen like that.
Yeah. And I'm a believer in everything happens for a reason. And I'm like, well, this is it right here. So, but anyway, thank you so much for joining the pod, Chris. We really appreciate it. And we're super excited to have you on tonight. But
if you wouldn't mind, because I'm not really much of a commenter. Like I probably left a total of 15 comments on YouTube in my entire life. So
wow.
Yeah, pretty good luck.
That's great. But yeah, if you wouldn't mind just introducing yourself real quick and kind of telling everybody who you are. Go ahead, Lonnie. What
did you want to do this now, or do you want to do it later?
You can,
because there's more to that story.
There is. So, there is. Yep.
Yeah. So whenever I reached out to Chris, because we've kind of talked a little bit in the comments.
A little bit, yeah.
And I think didn't you mention something about having Candace on or something sometime?
Oh yeah, I asked when Candace is going to make it.
Well, it was supposed to be tonight. We were going to have Candace and Pam on tonight, and do y'all want to? I'm going to share now. This is a personal communication between Candace and I, as I was telling her that she got bumped from the show. Okay. So like, I thought it was pretty funny. Here we go.
Ryan, I'm gonna let you hear this. I just told Candace, I said, oh, by the way, the wife episode got bumped.
By who? Like, who's better than us? Who takes precedence?
Oh God, everybody hates me today. Oh.
It better be freaking Donald Trump or something.
It's Hot Lunch Reseller. She would have look. Oh my God, dude.
What about Hot Snack Wife?
Hot Snack? Oh boy. No, I mean, our mission, especially after the Rev one did so well.
We're not interested.
No, people are gonna love y'all, but we can just. Y'all are always there. We can just put you.
We're always.
So yeah, I had a few minutes. I was in the doghouse for a few minutes there.
You can apologize to her for me stealing her spot.
No, but we really are excited. Lonnie and I have been talking about this for the last few days, 4 days. I don't know how long it's been, but we've been talking about this for a while, and we're super excited to have you on. But yeah, if you wouldn't mind just kind of introducing yourself and kind of telling everybody what you do. And
I mean, I don't know what to say too much. Well, first I should start by apologizing to Lonnie for whatever I might have done in the past that caused any kind of friction between us, and then I will just calmly sit here and wait for the return apology.
No, but do we have beef, Chris, that I don't know about?
Well, it's possible that I don't know about it either, but
okay.
Wow,
it seems like that's sort of the trend here, so I wanted to make sure I wasn't missing
if
the
there's
boat.
beef, nobody knows what it is. So, phew. All right.
So yeah, I mean, I just selling on eBay. That's basically it. That's the whole story.
Are
I've
you
been
full
doing
time or
that.
part? Are you full
Oh
time?
no, I mean, I have a full-time job. I've got a full-time
Okay.
job, and then I do this when I can. I mean, I probably started like my mom started on eBay before I did. So, like she was on it way back in the auction web days, before it was
Mm.
even called eBay. And
Okay.
she was just a garage sale mom, same as a lot of moms, I think. She took us out, and I don't think I ever had a brand new pair of pants or anything in my whole life. Everything came from sales. And yeah, so when eBay came around, she was doing her same old business, and then started selling stuff there too, and got me involved at that time. I was probably, I guess it's probably like 1999 or something like that, or 2000 maybe. And then
Oh,
there was
wow.
a little while where jobs were scarce, and I was, I guess I mean, I wouldn't have thought of it as being a full-time reseller back then, but probably 2 years back then, 2000s, I was just doing that full time. And
Oh.
then just sort of like faded out. I just,
Mhm.
listing here and there, one or two things a year for the next, I don't know, 20 years.
Wow.
And
So you have been at it for a while then.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So
So you said that you have a full-time job. Now I have a question.
yeah,
Does your channel name have anything to do with your full-time job?
not really. I mean,
Okay.
when I was when I was in school, grade school, we always had hot lunch once a week. It was like pizza buns. That's all we
Mhm.
ever had. And ever since then, I thought I should open a restaurant and just call it Hot Lunch. And then when it was time to start this eBay thing, I was like, I'm just calling it Hot Lunch, even though there's no food involved here. But I just don't love all of the I don't like the idea of it just being like, grandma's attic or something like that. You see so many eBay shops that have these kind of
Right.
names, and I wanted to be a little bit more unique, I guess.
I love the
So
channel name. It definitely caught my eye.
thanks.
So, yeah.
But it's everybody. There's so many pickers and flippers
Yeah.
out there
Right.
that's been done to death, right? And me
It starts to
included.
get confusing about which one's
Mhm.
which.
Yeah.
But I watched one of your videos the other day, and I think you said you had been kind of like pretty serious about this for about 3 years now. Is that right?
Yeah. I think I'm going on my 4th year of like really taking it seriously, because I guess about 3 or 4 years ago, my mom passed away, and then it was like almost immediately I just started selling again, and I didn't really think about it until later that I'm trying to just
Huh.
keep some kind of connection with her. Like this was an important thing for her.
Interesting.
Every bit of money she earned, from eBay, she gave it to other people and helped
Wow.
my nieces and, get through college and stuff. So if I'm not doing that, I'm keeping this money for myself. But I do feel like a connection to her still, by doing something that she would get a kick out of.
Oh,
Wow.
wow. That is really cool because my dad introduced me to eBay
Oh yeah. Yeah.
around that same time frame, and I went to a few like country auctions with him,
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah.
I was with him, and I'd never done any of that before, and that's when I bought my first and sold my first item on eBay. Was around like 98 time frame, somewhere
Yeah.
in there. And
Yeah. My
and yeah,
brothers and I, we were going to auctions all the time back then. And it was like, at that time, nobody really realized what stuff had value, and there's no way to
Right.
search it up. You're out there at some farmhouse or whatever. You're just doing your best, hoping that you're finding stuff worthwhile. But I would buy like, crates full of records nobody wanted. It'd be the
Mhm.
last item on the block, and they sell it for $1, or a box with like 500 hardcover books in there, and nobody wants it. So I'll take it, and then maybe one book in there is worth selling. The rest of it ends up at the thrift store or whatever. So yeah, I spent a lot of time at auctions back then. Not so much
it,
now. It's a little bit harder.
it was easier back then too, as far as like once you knew you were going to sell something, you didn't have to worry about what price to put on it because you
Yeah,
couldn't.
it's all auctions. Yeah.
Right.
And
Right.
like that's going to be sold in a week. That's it. You list it, and it's either sold or it's not in that
Right.
7-day period. So in some ways it was a lot easier.
It's crazy how much the the reselling thing has changed in the past. Just, I mean, I think I started my YouTube channel in 2019, and when I started and I was going to yard sales and stuff, it was easy to find great stuff, super easy. And I noticed very quickly, as you know, the rise of a lot of different YouTubers and it became like a big trend, how quickly that changed just in my local area. And I would assume it's probably true for everywhere.
Yeah.
But I was watching one of your videos the other day, and I saw that you mentioned that you go to the thrift store basically every day. Is that mostly where you source, or do you go to garage sales and stuff too?
Well, I mean, here in Chicago, it's cold, so we don't have
Okay.
9 months of garage sale season. I guess you probably had that same issue too. But I just saw somebody on the channel saying, "Oh yeah, we're getting ready. Next week, garage sale season starts." And I was thinking, like, what week are you in? Because for me, I'm looking at 3 months before we can get out there and
Right.
visit some garage sales. So yeah, mostly thrift stores these days. In the summer, we'll be back out at garage sales, and occasionally estate sales. Although they make me feel bad, so I don't usually like to go to them.
Yeah, I don't blame
Really?
you.
Wait, that's
Yeah, I just
interesting.
always feel like, somebody probably died here and they're just getting
Mhm.
rid of their stuff, and I don't know, feels a little bit, I don't know. I don't like the feeling of walking around somebody's house knowing that they probably wouldn't want me there,
I
but
I, res-
I'll
I
do it.
respect that. I respect that. So you feel do you feel like somewhat of a vulture in that
Oh
kind of
yeah, yeah.
situation?
Sometimes I do,
Yeah.
yeah. Especially,
Interesting.
you talk to other people and they're like rubbing their hands together, like, look at this, I'm gonna do this and do that. It's like, oh man, I don't feel good about that at all. But I do
Yeah.
feel good, cashing the checks or whatever. So I shouldn't I
Well,
definitely do it. It's just not my favorite
I,
thing to
I
do.
I used to feel that same, not quite like a vulture, say, but it did feel weird because every time I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a dead person's pen, this is a dead person's
Mm.
coat, this is a dead person's whatever, But the way I look at it is we serve a purpose, just like vultures
Yeah.
actually serve a purpose.
Yes.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's a really bad
I mean, those
analogy.
houses got to get cleaned out. They just, that stuff has to go somewhere. So somebody's got
It
to take it.
it has to go, and it helps the family
Right.
move on. They have to get the family doesn't want the stuff.
Right.
It's got to, I mean, but yeah, I
I mean,
totally
that's sad in its
respect
own
that.
way. Like I used to go, some of those auctions I used to go to, they would set up, they set up on tables in the front yard the night before, and then it rains overnight. And you're walking around looking at, like, this is somebody's marriage certificate. Here's
Yeah.
somebody's, army discharge papers, and the kids don't want it. And it just got rained on. Somebody's whole life here just getting rained on. I mean, some of those auctions are pretty sad too. I
Yeah.
remember I bought some stuff, like somebody passed away and she was an artist. And I was just thinking, like, your kids don't want all this artwork that you made, these drawings and paintings. And I bought all that stuff just because I felt bad. And then, I mean, 5 years later, I threw it all in the garbage. Like, I can't keep this stuff. But
Mm.
yeah, sometimes those, I guess this business can be a little sad sometimes if you let it be.
Yeah. That's
I don't want to
interesting.
No,
bring things
Never thought of
down. That wasn't my plan to make
Oh
this a
no.
sad.
No,
I totally
that's
understand why you feel that way.
yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember, like, I didn't go to a lot of estate sales either when I was doing this, but I do remember every time we went to one, it was very eerie feeling. I never felt sad necessarily, but it did feel a little bit uncomfortable. Part of that could be because I had a camera strapped to my chest
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
But
I had one time where I felt really uncomfortable at an estate sale. The estate sale company was running the sale, but it wasn't for someone that died. It was for an elderly lady that was about to go to like a nursing home.
Right.
Mm.
She was stationed, and usually they don't in that situation, they don't
Oh, yeah.
let the people in the
Right.
house during the sale. But look, she was sitting in a chair right by the checkout, just sitting there watching all the stuff
That is sad.
as
That's
it got
wild.
sold. And I was like, oh my gosh. Now that
Probably
was
like,
bad.
you can stay here and watch, but you can't say a word. She's like a
I
hostage
just
in
had
her own house.
one uncomfortable sale just maybe a couple of months ago. I went into this house and it was the same situation where the guy was going into a nursing home, but they had one whole room that was like the adults only room. It's like it said right on the door, porn room. So I felt a little uncomfortable there. I've never seen that at a sale. They usually just throw that stuff out, but that was real weird.
Quick interruption. We want to thank you all so much for your continued support of the Lonnie and Ryan podcast.
But wait, we have started a new membership program. You can now be part of the Inner Circle, where we will do a live stream once a month just for the Inner Circle members.
If you want to be a part of the Inner Circle, all you have to do is hit join down below.
Hope to see y'all in the live streams. It's going to be a ton of fun.
All right, now let's get back to the show.
Here's another story. You got me thinking now here, Chris. I went to one estate sale where the deceased, you know what they did for a living? They sold coffins for a living.
Oh, wow.
And I bought, they had
irony.
there's the salesman's like cases, and inside of the case they had these big binders with all these different models of what do they call it instead of a coffin? What's the other word?
Casket?
For the casket. Yeah. And like it was like a car. It's like you know, a bunch like when they're selling cars, and you know, it's like they're trying to put them at cool, nice looking angles and stuff. And like this model has this or that, you know,
extra padding in the headboard.
Right. And I was like, and I bought both of those things for $5. And I mean, now that I think, man, that probably sounds terrible to you, huh, Chris?
No, I mean, that sounds cool to me. I would buy that for sure. I like that kind of stuff that's like you just can't get anywhere else. Like I love like employee uniforms. Like I don't think that stuff even sells that well, but it just feels cool. Like I got this shirt that says whatever, you know, Home Depot on it. You just can't go to the store and buy that. And I like the stuff you can't even sell. I got like postal uniforms and police uniforms and stuff like that. But it's tough to figure out how to sell that stuff unless it's real old.
Right. Yep.
So that's the other thing. I was watching some of your videos, and your setup looks pretty organized, and like from the videos, it looked like it's pretty big as well. Are you selling? Like, where are you selling? Are you in your basement? Or?
It's the basement, yeah. So we bought this house. This house we got maybe like 6 years ago. We bought this house, and it had like the reason we bought it. There's an apartment on the second floor and an apartment on the basement, and we were going to rent it out and pay the mortgage that way, you know. But then like we quickly figured out that we can't let anybody live down here. Like it turned out the lady who lived here before us got shut down. She had like, according to the neighbors, she had something like 16 people living down here. And
oh my gosh.
And I'm like, I could barely stand up straight. So I don't know how I could stand up and have another guy looking at me, you know, that would be creeping me out. So she got booted out of here. I think like the police came and they told her she couldn't rent it. And then I think that's why she wanted to sell. Like somebody in the neighborhood called the police on her and she wasn't happy about it. So it's basically, it was like, there goes our plan. Like we can't rent this out. The ceilings are too low. Like if I stand up here right now, I don't even have to go on my tiptoes and I can hit the ceiling.
Wow.
So
low ceiling.
So it turned out fine. No, I've got a living room here. This is a bedroom I'm in. I got my photo booth here. I left the bed here on the side just in case we ever have any guests or anything. They can have sort of a spare room here, even though it's, you know, they got shelves full of junk that might fall over on them. And then the kitchen, I got stuff in the hallway and all the closets. So yeah, I have to keep it pretty organized because it's just so much. Like I wish I could just have a warehouse with straight shelves and it could be A, B, C, and D, but I've got living room 1, living room 3, living room 6. You know, I got all these different locations all over the place. So.
And you have a kitchen too down there, right?
Yeah. I do all my packing in the kitchen, and I've got storage in there too, like in the cabinets. I keep my bubble wrap in the sink. You know, I just pull it out of the sink. I wait for one day when I accidentally hit the faucet and soak everything there.
I couldn't figure out what was going on. I couldn't figure out if you lived in your eBay inventory. Like that's what I thought. I thought this guy lives in his work or something. Like he's in his kitchen and all, and he's got all of his inventory instead of food in there. And I'm like, what is going on? I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, I
That's
built
pretty-
a bench in there to fit in that kitchen, and I do all my packing in there.
That's pretty cool though, because I don't know for sure, but I would venture to say that you probably have one of the most unique YouTube eBay setups on YouTube right now, because I don't think anybody else is, doing what you do in the basement. That's like also an apartment. So pretty cool.
Somebody left a comment one day. They said, "Is this guy living in a tiny house or is he a giant?" I responded like, it's a little bit of both. I'm 6'4" and a pretty big guy. So
wow.
Yeah, I don't really recognize how weird it looks on video sometimes to have my head just 2 inches away from the ceiling. Yeah, right.
Okay. Oh, I gotta ask, what's your dog's name?
All right, this is Pineapple.
Pineapple.
He's a shelter dog. He's sort of the mascot here, even though he hasn't really been on camera that much. But I knew if I didn't bring him to talk to you guys, I would never hear the end of it from my wife. She always says, every time she watches one of my videos, she said it was pretty good, but there was one thing missing. Do you know what it was? Like, yeah, I know. I didn't have Pineapple in the video, so she likes him to appear on these videos. So
he seems awesome.
Bring him today.
He's
pretty.
Did your wife participate in reselling at all?
No, almost none. A couple of times she's come and helped me with inventory or something like that. And a few times she has brought home some things. Like one of the best sales I ever had, she found these Lord of the Rings posters from the late 70s or 80s. And I think there were 3 or 4 of them, and I sold them for like $600. Like, at that time might have been the most expensive thing I ever sold. So but mostly she's not that interested in it. I
is
get
she
excited.
Okay with all of this? Is she okay with all of the stuff in the house?
She never complains, and like I made a plan that I was going to keep everything down here and never bring anything upstairs, but that plan kind of went out the window pretty quickly because I get lonely down here. I want to keep working and I want to be up there with her at the same time. But the house is a disaster up there. She doesn't complain about it, but I'm sure in the back of her mind, she's thinking about, can you get this junk out of the dining room?
Right.
and what does she think about YouTube?
I think she's more interested in that. Like she got really excited when we were started to get to the 1,000 subscriber point, and she was like, she's asking me like, can't you just make me a mod or something? Can I? Because I want to see what's going on. I want to track it while I'm at work or whatever.
That's
so
cool. That's awesome.
And then
to have that's great to have a significant other that really supports you in that. That's a huge, because I had the same thing. Yeah. My wife was a huge supporter. Well, she was actually on the channel most of the time.
Yeah.
But having that is huge when you're doing YouTube. It really is.
There was one day we were testing a live stream. I never did it, but she was sitting right next to me and she could hear her own voice on there, and she was like, "Oh no, turn it off."
Yeah.
I know that feeling.
Have you ever done a live before, Chris?
No, I never felt like I had enough people yet, to try to do that. I don't know how many people
right
would
here.
Come on.
Is this your live debut?
Yeah. I suppose it is. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, well, no, it's not live. It's
not really live. Pre-recorded. Same format.
We don't edit though. We don't edit. It just goes straight up. So it might as well be live.
I do Zoom meetings at work every day, so
okay,
it's not that uncommon to me.
So that's something I noticed when I was looking at your channel. Like, so you've been doing YouTube for about like a year, right? Like 11 months or so.
Yeah, I think yesterday, the 12th is the 1 year point, and I have I just recorded that video yesterday. Will go up on the 12th, so 1 year is coming up, and I somewhere along the way I made a commitment to do a video every day for at least a year, and now I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do after this, if I can keep it up or not.
So that was my first thought when I was looking. Go ahead, Lonnie.
I just wanted to ask you while y'all talk about that, can I share? Do you mind if I share screen of your YouTube channel, Chris, and maybe look back at your? Okay, cool.
So that's something I thought. Let me bring it up. Hold on. There it is. So that was my first thought when I was looking at your channel. I was like, wow, this guy's been doing this for a year. He's gaining traction. There's no way that this isn't a passion of his. Is YouTube a passion of yours?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to
Really?
do the least amount of work on it as I possibly can, which it sounds weird, but I
Mhm.
figure like I'm
Nice.
just going to film the work I'm doing anyway. And I do
Okay,
very
makes
little
sense.
editing or anything like that after the fact. Um, I don't do much pre-planning on these, although I'm trying to get into that a little bit, get it. I could see where I'm more successful is when I do plan a little bit ahead of time. So
Yep.
I am
Mhm.
working on that some, but it's just a matter of time. I've got a full-time job and only so much time. I'd rather be listing new inventory than writing scripts or something like that. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
That's surprising for me to hear, because when I was going through, like, I'm going through your channel right now, and here's what I see. Okay, this is 11 months ago.
That's real old. Yeah.
73, 31,
Yeah,
59,
nothing.
23 views. And then if I go forward, if I keep going up a little bit, we'll go to like 10 months ago. 19 views, 29
Yeah.
views, 62. Nobody was friggin' watching.
No.
And you didn't
And
quit.
then if I keep going, look, 15 views, 37, 23. How, like, at that point right there, did you feel like it wasn't ever gonna it wasn't ever gonna work?
I mean, I just assume that's how it goes for everybody. You start out and it's slow. Like, how would anybody know who I am, or how could they find me?
Mhm.
I'm just some guy. They never heard of me. Um, and I guess the whole thing was I mean, definitely inspired by you, Lonnie. And not even necessarily like to be a YouTuber, just because I wanted to sell more stuff. And I was seeing, like, I would see you make a video and say, here's the items that we picked up today. There would be something in there that I had in my shop. And then the next day, the next video, you say, yeah, we sold that. And here's the price we sold it for. And I would say, wait, mine is the exact same price, the exact same thing, the exact same price. And I've had it for a year. This guy sold it in a day. Like, I got to figure out if he's just selling stuff to viewers, but it turns out probably not. Like, I barely sell anything to viewers as far as I can tell. But that was like the inspiration. Like, I want to sell more stuff faster. And if these folks can do it, then um, are they just selling to their audience? That's what I was thinking. Like,
Mhm.
but I guess it's probably some percentage to your audience, but I wouldn't imagine it's that much.
It's usually it's the lower dollar stuff. Not always. Usually it's the lower dollar stuff. And if I had to put a number on it, I would say probably around 15% of the
Well,
time,
that's pretty good.
something
That
like
sounds good
that,
to me.
you know? Yeah, no, it's substantial. Don't get me wrong, but it's not that much. But it does add up. And
Mm.
I see it looks like your first break kind of happens around here about 9 months ago.
How
You
many
got,
numbers you got there?
let's see, 144 views here, and then 231 on the next one.
And
Oh,
you notice too,
720. Yeah,
he started changing his thumbnails a little bit, putting his face in them.
Yeah, at
You
the
can see the
beginning, I
progression.
didn't want to be on camera at all. Like, I'd say I just
Okay.
looked at some of the old videos the other day, and I was surprised that it was like less than a month before I decided to be on camera, but I really didn't want to. I was concerned about, I'm concerned about my appearance. I'm concerned about the sound of my voice. I don't want to hear that stuff. But that stuff went away pretty quickly for me, maybe within a week. I wasn't
Yeah.
really cringing, but yeah, I say it was like a month, and I was like, well, I mean, I have some marketing background, and I know that people like to see faces. That's what sells
Right.
right.
stuff. So it's like, do I want to get people to click on these videos or not? I start putting my face on there.
I'm just fascinated by this progression that you were on for like the first 3 months or so, because you said that's just how it goes. Nobody watches it first, and then you just build slowly. However, when I started, well, it wasn't shed flips at first, it was actually garage flips.
Yeah,
After the third video, Pete Craigslist Hunter, I'm sure you've watched him before, huh?
I never even heard of it.
Oh, you haven't?
Wow.
Okay. Well,
No.
Pete Craigslist Hunter, he's got a massive channel now, like
half a
I
million
don't know.
subs or something like that.
Yeah, but back then it was like 30,000. He gave me a shout out.
Write that down.
Yeah, go check him out. It's good stuff, man. But he gave me a shout out after my third video. Somehow, he came across my videos and he shouted me out on a live show he was doing. And next thing I know, I've got all these. I went from like 30 subs to, I don't know, 200 and something in the matter of like 12 hours. So I did not actually experience like that same thing that I'm looking at on your channel, because I got really, really lucky.
I do a little lurking around on Reddit, and they have a bunch of YouTube subreddits there, and you see people say like, my first video I got 100,000 views and I'm already monetized, made one video. But I thought like either these people are exaggerating or it's a fluke. Most people are never going to get to 1,000 subscribers. They're just going to post a little bit here and there, and that's it. So I figured that's how it goes. You just build slow, and that's seems to be basically what's happened to me. I did beat I made like after my first couple of months, I could see, this many subscribers, it's gone up this much. And I started doing some math and predictions. And just, when was it? Saturday or Sunday? It was the day I was talking to you, Lonnie. While we were talking, a notification popped up from my calendar that said 1,000 subscribers. So that's what the day I had predicted I would get there. And it was like just about a year I figured it would take. But I had a few videos do a little bit better, and I got there faster than I expected.
That's the thing. All it takes is just to have one video take off, or a few take off, and it can literally change everything overnight.
I really haven't even had any that are like, astronomical. I think my highest view count is like 10,000, 12,000. So
that's a lot though. That's a lot.
And then after that, it quickly dives down to like 6,000 and then 4,000 and then back into the thousands again. So, but that one video I posted like November 16th, and by November 19th, I think I was monetized. So that's the one that did it.
When I was looking, the reason I have your channel pulled up is because I was like, I almost felt like I could see your thought process of, okay, this didn't work. This didn't work. Oh, wait, that worked. Let me hammer away at that thing some more.
Yeah.
And I see you working on like your titles and your thumbs, and like this thumb right here, USPS price hike.
Yeah, I see that one where I have no hat on. It looks weird.
Yeah. And look, you kind of like you set the word nail part of it kind of behind your shoulder. That creates some interest. It kind of makes it look a little more 3D, and
yeah.
And then I know
people hate when the price of shipping goes up. So smart topic.
Yeah. So my biggest topic has been the promoted listing policy changes. And I don't want to just keep repeating the same thing, but every time there's new news about that, I do more videos about it, and they seem to do pretty well for me. Oh, here's the low ceiling.
Wait, what's that?
If you scroll back up a little bit, here's where I'm touching the ceiling with my head right there.
Right here, low ceiling. I'm looking for when you start.
Look at how much better the thumbnails are.
Should be around November when I start going off on promotions.
Yeah, and that's you're not doing any like talking about anything negative, but that's a trap for a lot of people that are on YouTube.
Tough.
It is that I find like the videos that do the best are when we talk about negative things are
absolutely.
Especially negative things like if I screw up or I get scammed or postage goes up, it's never the good things that people want to see, right?
Well, look at that. He did that there, and that was his first 1,000 view video.
Right here. Yep. Mistake. Right there.
Yep.
It seems like, I mean, I don't want to. I don't want to send a lot of negativity out. You know, there are things that I get mad about eBay. Like I was just on my app. I haven't seen anybody talking about it, but I was just before we started filming, I was trying to do some photos and the app's just not working. I just keep getting this notification and it's making me so mad. And I'm thinking like, okay, I got to make a video about everything that's wrong with this damn app.
You know, the truth is too, is that whenever we do that, eBay watches a lot of this stuff too. They have social media people that watch this stuff. So you can potentially be making a difference. Look, here's where you start to get bad business, eBay. I mean, this is a great thumbnail, Chris.
I mean, I put that little eBay logo in the exact same spot pretty much every time.
Turn off eBay promoted listings now. Nobody likes promoted listings.
So yeah, that must have been my first time. That was back when they were just starting to introduce that in Europe, and I was like, this is bad. This is going to be a bad policy, and it's coming this way whether we wanted to or not. You know, people will disagree with me, but I don't feel like it's even necessary to do it. I turned it off. I didn't see a single dip in my sales. I mean, I was only promoting at 2%, so is it even worth doing at that percentage? I don't know, but yeah, then here we go. 30 days later or something like that, I started, or 10 days later, I started a whole series on these promoted listings because I could see that that people wanted to hear about it.
Look at that, 12,000 views.
Yeah,
so that must be my best video yet.
And then look, you come back and hit it again right here too. eBay side of the story.
Yeah. There's a video out there, and I'm not sure if I mentioned it in there, but somebody did a interview. Some lady on YouTube has like 600 followers, got an interview with two guys from the marketing team there at eBay where they explained all about that, and nobody is watching that video. And that's the one I wanted. Like, I'm going to do a review of this video, and I want you to go and watch it. But it's still, I mean, barely has any views on it. So I'm not sure how they chose her channel when there are people, you know. Somebody like Lonnie they could talk to and they could get a lot more eyes on it.
They don't, you know what's funny? I think a lot of people over the years have assumed that I'm like in eBay's pocket or they're in my pocket. I don't know which one it is. I have never, because I see other YouTubers that have like swag sent to them and stuff.
Yeah.
eBay has never shown me the first bit of love out, you know. Like I have no relationship with eBay whatsoever other than what any other seller has. None.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you sometimes talking about, you know, I had to give them a call, and it's just like a regular dude who has to call them and wait on hold like everybody else.
Yep.
But I see that you keep on hammering away and it works. And that, I think that's like for people that are like maybe new at YouTube, if something works, keep going with it.
Yeah, I guess sometimes I'm trying to build like, here's a series. So if you want to find out what happens next in this saga, you're going to have to subscribe.
Man, you might have 100,000 views just from the promoted listings thing.
Yeah,
here's
it's
another
a lot,
one.
yeah. I think I probably have about 10 videos about that. You know, every time there's a little bit more news, like just recently at Value Added Resource. What's her name? Liz Morton.
Yeah.
He just reported on people complaining that their promotions went up to 100%. Like every single sale is promoted listings.
Wow. That's smart that you're doing that though, because not only are you like adding value to people who sell on eBay and giving them insight to what's going on, but you're actually building a base of loyal viewers by doing so. You know, these people that they'll see like you're helping them out, right? And they see that and they subscribe and now they're going to come back for more and follow you for maybe ever, which is great.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
That's something I wanted to ask you. Like, what's your goals for like YouTube as far as like what you want to do overall? Like,
I mean,
I don't think you want to be the promoted listing guy forever, right?
No. And I don't want to be like the expert either. Like that makes me a little uncomfortable. Like there's pretty often in the comments, somebody will say like, can you help me? Can you tell me how to do this or how to do that? And like, I don't know the answer, but I can Google it and find out for you.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm always trying to be careful to say like, this is my opinion. You know, I'm just some guy. I bought a camera. Everybody else can buy one too.
Yep.
And I've been doing a lot of experiment videos, like trying to see, like, there's all these legends and myths about you got to do this stuff if you want your channel, if you want your shop to succeed. And nobody's ever testing that stuff. Like, they just heard some other guy say it, and so they're going to say it too. And so I'm trying to test it, even though it's like, it's not possible to do a real experiment. You can't
Right.
control the variables on eBay, but I'm just doing my best to see, like, if I stop sending offers, is that going to hurt my shop? If like this week, I haven't been listing anything. I decided for 7 whole days, I'm not going to list anything, because everybody says you got to list every day. If you don't list every day, eBay's going to shuffle you off to the back. And I haven't had that experience just yet. I'll be diving into those numbers a little bit tomorrow to see, like, how did this week compare to the week before. And it's only 7 days. You know, this is not a rigorous study, but it's fun to see, like, if I do this, what's going to happen. And every one of these videos is going to end with me saying, like, I don't know. Who knows? You know, there's no way to know.
That's great, because I think a lot of times as YouTube, like a lot of times YouTubers feel like they do have to know, right? They do have to tell everybody this is how it is. And I don't think I was like, when I did YouTube, I always made sure that I said I don't know. And I always made sure that, because I felt the same way as you when I was doing YouTube.
I'm just afraid that people don't hear it. You know, you could say it if you want to, but if I say I sold this thing and I made $200 on it, they're going to think that guy knows what he's talking about. And,
right.
You know, got a lot of people asking me for advice, and I don't feel that comfortable providing that advice all the time, because, like I said, I mean, I had a spare $300 and I bought a camera. That's the whole story of why I'm on YouTube. You know,
right. Yep.
And sometimes I do these experiments and somebody will say, you did it wrong, you should do this. And I'll say, like, great, man, do it. You know, go ahead and make a video about that.
That's the great way to look at it.
You know what's interesting about that though, Chris, because I've always felt that same way. No matter what I've done, I've never felt like the expert ever, no matter how many times. Well, man, how did I do that?
You're the expert, Lonnie.
I make a
confetti.
I saw that the other day. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know why it does that.
Man, it must just be like a little Easter egg or something. But like in every job I've ever had, I try to reinforce, like, if somebody asks me something I don't know, I would be I don't know, where another person will just make something up.
Yeah.
And I actually found the more I told them I don't know and I'm unsure, the more they would trust me, and it would like just amplify this thing where they would look at me as the expert, even though I was saying I don't know all the time. And it's like, oh, I know exactly. I deal with that all the time, because, like, we have things that happen here, like we had some issues with eBay standard envelope, over and over. And we got sick of it. It didn't make enough money for us. It wasn't that much of a percentage of our sales for us to continue to mess with it. And we decided just to dump it. And I feel like a lot of people that were watching that heard that as, you should not be using
dump it. Yeah.
You should not be using this. And that's not what we're saying at all. You know, because it could just be like, maybe the hub our stuff is going through is super picky or whatever. But yeah, I'm constant. That battle never stops, Chris. It never stops.
Yeah, I saw you posted something about that in the water cooler, and a lot of people were saying, I never have any problems. But I don't ship enough of that stuff out. I've probably done 10 eBay standard envelopes total. So, but I've never had one go missing. So I don't know. I don't know. Pretty good post office here.
Maybe we're doing it wrong. I don't know. But the number of people saying they've never had problems with it. And you also never know the sample size.
Right.
But that's the thing. I found your channel, Chris. You commented, I think, on I think it was like on a packing video or something. I don't remember where it was. You said something about the camera angle, or no, you mounted your camera to the wall.
Oh yeah,
down.
Yeah.
And I was like, Now and I said, well, what does this guy know about film and shipping? I never heard of this guy. And so I clicked on you and I'm like, oh, wait, he does do it. And I'm like, actually, he's right. It looks fantastic. It looks great like that.
I think just by coincidence, almost the exact same time when you started filming like more full body, I started doing it like just by maybe even the same day it could have been. And that's something I was like, I don't know about this. I don't know if I want these people looking at my whole body. I can stomach them looking at my face, but then it's the same thing. I was like, I was doing point of view shots, you know, chest mounted, and people were kind of complaining about it a little bit. And like, oh, all right, I'll just do it. But yeah, I still don't feel so comfortable with that.
No,
you'll get more comfortable with it as time goes on. You'll get used to it.
I think the first time I commented on anything related to you was after you had your, I'm assuming that was some kind of low blood pressure situation where you fell. And I was like, hey man, you better just clench your legs a little bit before you stand up, because I think that's a blood pressure issue. Because I had that same situation a few years ago. I lost a lot of weight and I passed out like 5 times just getting up out of bed. So I was like, man, you better, all you got to do is just clench your leg muscles, and then you can stand up. You'll be fine.
That's exactly what it was too.
You had any more?
No. I haven't had any problems at all. But then as I was watching your videos, Chris, I started saying like, oh, this is so refreshing. This guy is actually critically thinking, and that he's not taking any of the conventional wisdom at face value. There it goes.
Oh, there we go again. Happy birthday.
Apparently I'm a little I'm kind of fancy and extra over here, huh? But I appreciated that you didn't take any of that stuff at face value, and you said, I don't know if that's true or not. Let's find out. It's almost like Mr. Wizard or something, you know, where you're like hands on and you're like, I'm going to find out for myself. And I love that spirit and that attitude about, you know, I don't believe any of this. Let's try it. I always say that.
Yeah.
Lonnie, do you think this will work? Do you think I should do this? Do you think I should do free returns? Do you think I should do 30-day returns? Do you think I should do this? Give it a shot. What's the worst that could happen?
Right.
You know, if you don't like it, stop doing it. If you like it, keep doing it. Like, it's really that simple. You know, that's the way I look at it.
Everybody always used to say, you got to end and relist. You got to end and relist. And I always thought, what's the point of that? It can't help. And I've done like tons of tests on trying to see if that helps. And I still don't know. Like, seems like one time I'll end 40 items and relist them, and it does great. You know, 12 of those things sell the next day. The next time I do it, not a single one of them sells. So I think it just always comes down to, do you have good stuff to sell? Do you have a good price on it? Is your title good? You know, I'm shocked sometimes when I see something that sold and the title has like 2 words in it. It's like, how did you even get anybody to find that? So yeah, I'm always just telling people, like, the basics are the most important things. Everything else is, you can fool around with it if you want. You know, it's kind of fun to send out offers every 10 minutes or whatever, but doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get any sales.
Right.
And I will, you know what? I want to talk about, you're talking about listing every day. You know, one thing that I will say about that is, at least that advice won't have negative effects on someone. You know what I mean? Like listing unlisted inventory is never wrong. Now, you may not get the results. It may not be for the reason you think you're doing it, but getting more inventory up for sale is always going to be good, I would think.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And I found, like, let's say I list 10 items today, right? There's a really good chance, would you agree? There's a really good chance that one of those 10 items will sell in the first couple of days.
Maybe for you, I don't really. Most of my stuff sells after like 8 months. It feels like.
Oh, really?
I mean, I sell stuff that's like 3 years old every day. I'm like, well, how did I even keep this? Why didn't I throw this away 2 years ago? But, I mean, again, like, it's all about. This is all about gut feeling right now. I have not actually looked and seen, like, how often does something sell that quickly. And I
always
guess that's my main message. Without like actual numbers and really looking at it, you never really know what you're doing. It just feels, sometimes it feels better than others, but I feel like I don't sell stuff that quickly unless it's like something very special.
See, I've always kind of felt like if I listed, and this is just, I'm just throwing numbers at the wall. If I listed 10 things, one thing would sell within the first, say, week. And then maybe 4 other things would sell within the next 3 months. And then 4 other things would sell in the next 6 months. And then there would be that one item sitting around after a year that I would just kind of hang on to. And it would take a long time. You know, that's the way I've kind of always looked at it.
I mean, I guess I'm going on, I guess like I'm headed into my 4th year of taking this real seriously. And so early on, I probably wasn't buying the best inventory, and it's this kind of stuff that takes a year to sell or 3 years to sell. But I don't know. I'm learning all the time. I do find that some things are selling quicker now. So I guess I'm getting better at sourcing.
Yep.
I had a little bit of a, I'm not trying to argue with any people in my comments. You know, I don't want to start any issues, but somebody came on there. I did a little like, here's like 5 things I bought at the thrift store today. Like this, I paid $2. I think I can sell it for $80. This one was $1. I'll sell it for $100, whatever. And somebody came on and said, you're lying. Like nobody ever finds anything that good at the thrift store. I've never found anything like that. And I just couldn't help myself. Like I explained, like, you know, these people that work there, they don't know everything. And half of them don't get paid well enough to care one way or the other anyway. So maybe you're just bad at sourcing at thrift stores. I put in there. Like, oh boy. And then he just instantly deleted that comment.
Welcome to YouTube.
But you don't start by calling me a liar. You know, I'm not lying about anything. What's the benefit of that?
Yeah. I think Lonnie, you have a pretty good story about somebody calling you a liar. Can you think of it?
Sorry, Ryan. I'm sorry, CDs. Ryan. My CDs. Oh yeah. This was years ago, but I bought a couple of boxes of CDs at a yard sale for $10. And actually, you know, there's more to this story. And I put them in the little I had another shed that I was working in at the time, set them down. I didn't get to them for a couple of weeks. And have you ever heard of the Declutter app before?
Does it still exist?
No, they went out of business. No. They shut down like a year or 2 ago.
Yeah, I never used it, but I heard of it.
But you would take the app and you'd scan the CD, and then it would tell you how much they would pay you for it. And usually it was like either 10, 15, a good one might be 25 to 40 cents, you know, for these CDs. And, you know, a lot of times it'd be like, we aren't taking this title at this time, you know, that kind of thing. And I was just making a video kind of showing the process of how that worked. And then some people would now this was smart. Some people would use it as a very fast way to quickly call out the winners from the losers. Cause like, if they said they would pay you $1 for a CD, that might be a good one to set aside and look up on eBay later, because it might be selling for $20 on eBay. Right. Whatever. Right. So anyway, I was just like going through these CDs, and look, y'all, you just beep, beep. Oh, look, a quarter for that one, you know, whatever. And I'm going through them, and then I turn my camera off, and then I open up an Alison Krauss CD, who I don't even know what she sings, but I remember her name. I open up the CD, and there's a little wad of $20 bills folded up very neatly, very tightly in the CD case. So I get my camera, turn the camera back on, and I'm like, look, y'all, I swear, y'all aren't going to believe it. I swear, I just found this. It was sitting, and I have these, and I'm like, flop, 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 these $20 bills. It was $200 friggin' $10, $20 bills, which I wouldn't even think $10, $20 bills would fit in the CD case. But it did. I promise. I swear I'm not lying, y'all. And that video took off. I think it still gets views. And dude, I got called a liar like 1,000 times in there. This dude set it up, and I can't blame these people because honestly, like, there's a cut, and then next thing you
Right.
know,
Yeah.
there's all this cash everywhere, and I can't blame them, but it still hurt my feelings. And I was still fairly new at that time. But man, there's not too many weeks that don't go by still. And this is like 8 years ago. Somebody's in there calling me a liar in there still.
But that makes me think of a question. Like, how often are you looking at comments? It seems like, the advice to a new person is to be commenting and replying and asking questions and whatever. But seems like at some point it's just more work than you could possibly do.
The comments, I want to hear Ryan's answer to this. Ryan's much better and much more well-adjusted than I am. But I love reading the comments on this podcast. The comments on my packing videos, and here's the thing, man. Here's the thing is that I know that 99 point something % of people aren't even commenting. They're just enjoying the video and they're watching it. And there's a lot of people that have positive things to say, and that's nice. And then there's a few people that they pick out some negative thing, like, I don't like the way you said that to Candace. All right, you disagree with. I got in trouble. Like, there was a comment where there was a thing where I disagree with Candace about something on camera, God forbid, and I caught hell for that. And not only did there were like 4 people that complained about it. I'll tell y'all what the situation was here in a minute. There were about 4 people that complained about it. Not only that, I looked at the little like thing. There were like 14 likes on one of them. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a consensus. This is a problem. And what had happened was, somebody messaged us about a Halloween mask at 10:05, and we were in here filming packing at the time. And 10:05, they said, hey, would you take, and it was like $4 less than our asking price for this mask. They wanted to pay 55 something instead of 59, right? And they messaged again about 10 minutes later. I guess not, they said, because we didn't reply. And Candace, and we're in between cuts, like, while we're filming, and Candace, she was mad because the guy, obviously that's unreasonable to expect someone, bless you, to expect someone to, reply to an eBay message within 10 minutes. That's ludicrous. And to get all, haughty about it. And Candace got mad because of their impatience. Right. And I was like, okay, let me play devil's advocate here, because I get overly emotional as well, typically, right? About a lot of things, and eBay messages especially, and I'm like, you know what? And we're filming video, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to turn the other cheek, because I've been doing that a lot lately. And I said, and on camera while we're filming, I'm like, you know what, Candace? I know you're upset about that, and whatever. And yeah, that's ridiculous. But you know what? I think we should reply to them now. She wanted to make him wait. She's like, I'll reply to him, but I'm not going to do it for 8 hours or something like that. and I said, you know what? I want to make this sale. I'm going to and then I said, I'm going to cut the camera. I'm going to reply right now. And people got so mad. You should have backed Candace up. That's ridiculous, etc. Wow. Oh, where's the teamwork? And yeah. So yeah. If you can't tell, Chris, you asked about comments, and I went on like a 10-minute rambling tirade about some comments. Yeah, it's still it's a big problem for me still. I got it.
I saw that video, and I was thinking, he really wants that sale. He really, really wants that sale. I can see you kind of tiptoeing around, like, what do I say? How do I say this? I think we need to call this. We need to message this guy right now.
What was that? Did you think I was ugly or anything? Or, like, be honest. Like, did you think?
No, absolutely not. I mean, I'm not going to criticize either one of you, but I could see like, I mean, I know how it is. You get these messages and sometimes you just like, I don't care. I just do not want to sell this to you. I don't like
Yeah.
the way you said it, So
Yeah.
the other
Like,
night
yeah.
I have a CD for sale, $10, and somebody sent me an offer for $7.50. And I don't know, I just not feeling it, I just said, no, ignore that, cancel that. I'm not taking that offer. And then 5 minutes later, 775 or whatever. I'm like, no, I said no. Then $8. I said, no, man, no. I'm just like, I just keep rejecting these offers. And then he finally writes back and he says, do you even know how to negotiate? And I was like, if you can afford $8, you can afford $10. I'm not selling it to you. That's it.
Sometimes you just got to draw the line, huh? Right.
And I feel like offers, like I have like all offers on everything right now. This was like a leftover from another experiment from the past where I just turned on all offers, had no minimums. And I get so many that are just like $1. I'll give you $1. I'm selling something for $25. Like, I'm not even going to respond. We're not going to get anywhere with this.
Right.
But I feel like these offers have really like picked up this year, and I'm not sure what's going on. It seems like last year, I would guess maybe 25% of my sales were from offers, from buyer initiated offers. And now I think it's probably the other way around. I think it's 75%. It's just like really inundated with these offers now. But have you felt that, or you don't have offers on that much?
I have offers on a lot of stuff. Ryan, do you do offers on pretty much everything?
Yeah. But I haven't, well, I obviously I'm not reselling as much as I used to, but I still do have listings. I haven't received a whole lot of offers lately, I don't think. But yeah, I put offers on everything.
Yeah. And what Candace and I do a lot of times with those kind of situations, like I get Candace, like if we get a message, or if Candace bails me out. If there's a situation I'm uncomfortable with or feel passionate about or emotional about, I'll say, Candace, would you please handle this one? I don't feel like I should be talking to them about this, because she's dispassionate about whatever that situation is.
Yeah.
And then vice versa. Like I was like, okay. And I was thinking in my little head, okay, Candace is passionate about this guy. I don't care. So why don't I take over, and let's see if we can make a sale.
Yeah.
And I ended up, I guess, I don't know. I mean, with the response we got on that video and all the comments and then the likes on those comments, it did make me take pause and think, did I do something wrong there? Was I out of line? Am I not being supportive or whatever? And that's the thing. And it is possible that's true, but also it's possible these are people that are just like Team Candace and don't really like me to begin with,
Right.
and are going to pick apart whatever I do. And now I'm psychoanalyzing myself about nothing, and I'm in my own head when I'm doing fine, and maybe I should just not be in the comments and I should be working instead. You know what I mean? Like it can get kind of crazy in there.
Well, I mean, if you post that story in the water cooler or on Reddit or something, most of the advice is going to be, it's just business. Don't let yourself get worked up about it. These people they could be jerks, but that doesn't mean you have to take it in, just make the sale and move on. That's probably what the advice would be in that situation, I think.
Right.
But we're all only human, and sometimes people are just they just push the wrong button at the wrong time. And I had almost the exact same story last night. I was buying some stuff off Facebook Marketplace, and the guy told me he would be home at 5:30. And so I'm like, oh, well, I know where he lives. I'm going to stop at the grocery store. So I'm in there at 5:15. He's texting me saying, I'm home now. And I'm still in the store checking out or whatever. I'm not responding to that message. And by the time I got to the car, he's saying, well, I guess you don't want it. I guess you don't want it. You're never going to answer me. I was like, it's literally been 2 minutes, and I'm 5 minutes from your house. So just calm down.
And it wasn't even about you. He probably got burned on a previous transaction. Absolutely. Like we all have. And it wasn't about you at all.
I mean, you're talking to a Rev the other day about people who tell you how to pack, and
Right.
man, that does burn. I hate that so much. But then you just think that guy has had a bad story.
Exactly.
Somebody sent him. I've gotten plenty of packages that are shipped poorly, so I understand, but still doesn't make you not be upset about it.
I'll tell you back to the comments, and I'm sure Ryan has some more comments too. But the thing I try and remind myself, because I pinned one of the comments that talked about teamwork, and I replied to it saying, actually, I think this is what teamwork is all about. Me taking the ball for a little while and running with it, and then she'll do the same for me or whatever. It probably fell on deaf ears, whatever. But one thing to remember, this applies to YouTube comments. It applies to and it applies to, like, if you get a negative feedback on eBay or something, and then you reply to that, you got to remember you're replying to them sort of, but really what you're doing is you're putting up a piece of content that everyone else is going to be looking at. And that's the important thing to remember when it comes to that.
Yeah, that's good advice. If you're replying to a comment, you got to think about it as an advertisement to future potential buyers. It has nothing to do with the person who left the feedback. It's for everybody in the future.
Right.
Yeah.
That because people, like, that's when you really show a lot of people expose themselves in those situations, because, like, when they're emotional or distraught or whatever, that's when they're going to be the nastiest.
Yeah. Then it makes me think, do I want to buy from that guy? He's going to yell at me.
Right. If something goes wrong, what happens then? His conflict resolution is a little sketchy,
For me, with YouTube comments, they used to get to me more like when I was doing Thrift Mine, because basically any nasty thing you can think of, I was called over the years. But and I even made a video. I made a video on Thrift Mine at one point. I think I titled it like, I forget exactly what the title was, but a message to everybody that hates me or something like that. And it was more of like a comedic thing, but it actually felt good. Like I felt like I was trying to get back at them, but like with a comedic twist. But anyway, I wouldn't make that video today. My viewpoint kind of changed over the years, and especially more recently. And with the content that I'm doing now, it's a lot more positive. I don't really receive a whole lot of negative comments. I try to respond to as many comments as I can, and I do really love comments. But the one thing that I try to remember too, and this is something to remember, we actually kind of touched on it a little bit earlier. The sample size of the comments and the people that are in the comments, yeah, they're a reflection of your audience, but especially with the negative ones, they are a very, very small percentage of the people who are watching you, and most of the people that are watching you, you'll never hear from, and they have they wouldn't be watching you if they didn't like you. They have a positive outlook on you. So, like, if you get, this would be my advice, if you get a negative comment, yeah, it might get to you, but look at that comment and then look at the views and look at the ratio. One negative comment versus a video that got 10,000 views, right? It's just one guy. It doesn't really mean a whole lot.
We have one, as a matter of fact, Ryan, what about that commenter we have on this podcast? As a matter of fact, they keep every video, they keep asking, they're like, I watched this podcast, and they've said it a couple of times. I've watched this podcast, and I'm like, what is this all about? What is it you guys are doing? Like, what is this? What is the point of this podcast?
I've watched every episode.
Right. And Ryan's like, keep watching and you'll find out, or something like that.
It's hard to know if those commenters are talking to you or to other commenters. Sometimes people will they'll just say, like, I'll say, here's how you do bulk editing. I just did a short seller school video. Like, it's simple. Here's how you do it. And then the comment is like, here's how you do bulk editing. And they just lay it all out exactly what I just said. I was like, who is this for? Did you not watch the video? Or I just don't understand what you just felt like you had to say exactly the same thing I said. I don't get it.
Yeah.
You know what's even worse though? I just thought of this. You know what's worse than the ones that are really critical or mean? Because you see where they're coming from, right? And like actually, I think maybe the ones that always gas you up no matter what you do, those are the really dangerous ones. Because
Right.
like you could be like going totally
Oh
down the
yeah,
wrong
yeah, yeah.
path, and they're telling you how great you are.
Yep.
That's really dangerous, you know?
Mhm.
My first thought on that is always like, what do you know? You know, like somebody says, even at my day job, you know, somebody will say, "You did a great job. You know, this looks great," and I'll be like, "You wouldn't know the difference." You know, how could you possibly know? So I guess I don't take criticisms or compliments very well.
A lot of times though, like whenever some of these podcasts, as a matter of fact, I've been so like had so much anxiety about the comments
Mm.
that I won't even look at them. I won't even watch the video back, and I'll message Ryan, because we message all day every day, and I'm like, hey Ryan, how are the comments looking
It's
so
safe,
far?
Lonnie. It's safe to go look.
Safe to look.
And he knows how anxious I get, and he goes, "Oh, it's fine, dude. They love it." And I'm like, "Okay." And then I'll go in and I'll read them, you know. But I even feel that way about my own videos often. Like I've gone months at a time sometimes without even looking at my comments on and I feel terrible. I feel guilty about it. And I'm glad you asked that, because I mean, if you haven't been a content creator or haven't dealt with that kind of thing, it's really hard to understand, because it's real easy to say, F the trolls, F the haters,
Right.
whatever. Like, it's so easy to say. But man, I've had real anxiety
Mhm.
about comments. And sometimes I just pretend like they don't even exist, because I don't want them to poison my head, good or bad. I don't want them to poison my head. And then I'll go back in and I feel immense.
Peak.
I feel immense guilt, because I truly appreciate people that watch us.
Yep.
And I feel so guilty because so many of these nice people are commenting, and I just can't even look sometimes at the comments.
That's kind of what I'm hoping for sometime, when, like right now, I'm not overloaded with comments. I could look at every single one and respond to everyone if I want to, but I'm worried. I'm not worried. I'm kind of hoping that this will happen. Like, can I just get it to the point where I don't have to look at these? Because I mean, they're all nice people. Like 99.9% of these people who are commenting are very, very supportive
Mhm.
and say nice things and make me feel good about myself. But it just takes the one guy. There
Yep.
was one guy at the beginning who, like, every video I posted, he would start by saying, "You're doing this all wrong," and then go on to tell me, like, step by step, "You pack that thing this way, you put this thing in that kind of box." And at some point, I just like, all right, I am hiding from now on. Anybody who, if I even feel a twinge of self-doubt based on your comment, I'm hiding you from my channel. I don't want to see your comments ever
That's a way
again.
to handle it. That's a valid way to handle it.
And
It
I'm always
is.
hoping that they're just, you know, the way I understand it works, like they don't know that they're hidden, and they might just be commenting every day, and they don't know that I'll never see that.
Yeah.
That is one strategy, but you know, I hate, like I've gone through periods where I've done that too. Hide. But then I feel like I feel so lame doing that, man. Because it's like, you know, it just makes me feel like a big old P word. I'm not going to say the word. And another thing to think about is, okay, our videos that we're publishing are content, right? You
Mhm.
know what else is content? The comment section
Comments.
is content. And you know what the best you know what the most interesting content in the comment section is? The people that are critical,
Arguments.
you know?
And a lot of
And
times people that, are big fans of you will actually go in there and defend you too.
Yeah.
So that's another way to look at it. It can be fun to watch.
And sometimes the criticisms are valid, and those are the worst
Right.
ones. Like, I
Yep.
can't tell you, like, if I thought like, oh, I should have changed this or that, and I didn't,
Mhm.
and then somebody mentions it, like, oh, I might as well just throw myself off a cliff. I'm so upset. I should have changed that thing. I knew it was wrong, and I left it there anyway, and somebody noticed it.
I've had comments before and where like I read the comment and I've had comments, man, that will eat away at me for the I like certain comments. If I read them in the morning, they'll eat at me all day. It'll
Yeah.
like it'll ruin the vibe for me for the
Yeah.
whole freaking day. Like I've got a real unhealthy relationship with comments. I'll be honest. It's hard.
So then,
man.
Ryan, I know you had some experience that were less than positive. I think that, I mean, from a
Mhm.
previous episode, you were talking about people
Yep.
showing up at your house and, scaring you
Yeah.
off. And that's scary to think about. That's why I kind of didn't want to put my face on camera.
So, yeah, I had a couple different instances of people showing up at my house. None of them were negative per se, but they were uncomfortable on my end because the thing is, like, these people know me, they know my family, they know everybody that I show in the videos, my wife, my kid, and they know everything about us. And to us, they are a total stranger. And
Right.
they're at my house and they know everything about me. And I get it. The two times, I think it happened twice. The two times that it happened, it was friendly. Like there was nothing. I didn't even say anything to them, but it was uncomfortable and I didn't like it at all. And I would say put as little personal information of yourself as possible on the internet. That would be my advice.
And it won't matter. If somebody wants to find you, they will.
True, but just don't
But
make it
yeah.
easier. Just don't make it easier for them too.
Yeah.
I think
That's
there was.
like,
Did you
don't
have
show.
hurricanes coming through there, Lonnie? I think there was
Oh, yeah.
one time when you were showing a weather map and saying, "Look, it's going right over our house," and I was thinking, "Don't show them where your house is." Don't.
I think that ship has sailed for me over a decade of being too loose with things. Like I think that's done.
Yeah.
But I do want to say though that we have actually made we have a lot of what I would consider like reseller friends, because like when we go to garage sales and there was an estate sale last year we went to. There were 3 other people at that estate sale. Every single one of them watched our channel.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we knew them, and they knew our name. We knew their name. We see them. Like there's a lot of like,
Yeah.
it's almost like we're on a sitcom sometimes when we go sourcing around here, where we have recurring characters come in. Oh, there's Mike, there's Bev, there's Tom. There, like that part is like super cool because like when we go out to garage sales, like our channel is small from a YouTube perspective, but from a YouTube reseller in Baton Rouge perspective, we're not like we're
Right.
fairly well known. Whenever we go to garage sales, there's a very good chance we're gonna see somebody, we're gonna be recognized from YouTube or whatever. Have you ever experienced? Have you been recognized in public yet?
No, absolutely not. I mean, I live here in Chicago. There's tons of people here. I don't know that I would ever. I mean, I guess I go to
You
thrift
will
stores
soon.
and I do see the same
It's
people
coming.
there.
Very soon.
There's some people I know, like that guy's definitely a reseller, and sometimes I think like, should I try to make friends? Should we have some kind of a confab or something? Like one day I was like, me and this other lady were kind of going after the same kind of inventory, and we just said like, okay, let's just split this up. You can have this, I'll have this. And then I see her every once in a while. We just nod or, whatever.
Yeah,
but I just think like, should I set up a meetup of some kind? We could all hang out and talk about our experience, but I don't think I'm the kind of person to organize that.
Yeah,
I'm not either.
But for you, Ryan, I mean, now you're doing these food reviews and talking about restaurant locations, and I assume you live in a pretty small town that people could probably find that stuff pretty quickly.
Yeah. Nobody's come to my house from that content yet, but I am starting to get I am starting to get recognized in public, which is kind of actually somebody I sent it to Lonnie yesterday. I was at the grocery store, and this is the other thing. When you're out in public, you don't know who knows you and isn't saying anything.
Oh
because
yeah.
just it was yesterday or the day before. I was at the grocery store, did my thing, yada yada. Later that day, I posted a food review video, and somebody commented on it. I think it was on Facebook. Somebody commented, "Hey, were you in this grocery store today? I think I saw you." And I was like, "Yeah, I was."
That's weird.
So it's like, yeah, it is. It's different because it's like, okay, well, somebody was watching me while I was at the store that
Yeah.
recognized me, and I had no idea who they were. Just so it is pretty crazy. It's an adjustment. It is an adjustment.
You feel like you're under a microscope, don't you?
Yeah. Yep.
So I guess them showing up at your house wasn't enough to totally just abandon public internet.
No,
life.
because it was only a couple times, and they
Yeah.
weren't negative reactions. But the reason why I kind of stopped doing Thrift Mine, I think I talked about this in another episode as well, but was because of negative reactions like out at yard sales.
Yeah.
That's why I stopped doing that. But yeah.
I had so many people asking me, can you do some sourcing videos? And so I strapped that camera on and I go out to the Goodwill or whatever. And like the first time I was like shaking in my boots. I was so afraid somebody's going to yell at me or something. But
Yep.
I've done it maybe 10 or 12 times now. And it seems like smooth sailing, but I'm not sure if it's worth it to do it though. It's not, they don't get that many views really.
You wear
those
the
kind
camera?
of videos would be popular. Yeah.
You wear it? Oh my gosh.
I do. Yeah. And right now it's winter time, so I can have my coat kind of zipped up, but I don't know what I'll do in the summer.
That's another thing that I had a lot of anxiety because like I did actually an old friend of ours, Justin, he was one of the first ones in the space to start wearing a GoPro to garage sales. And Ryan and I, we took that idea from him and we ran with it. I was like very successful with it. Ryan was even more successful. And man, I had more anxiety. Maybe I'm an anxious person. I guess I am. But man, I would have so much anxiety wearing that camera. And even after doing it for months and months and months, a bunch of times, every time I get out of the car and I'd start walking up to that garage sale, I'd be like, are they looking at me? Do they think it's weird?
Yeah.
Are they looking at the camera? Do they see it? Do they care? What is their demeanor? Are they usually like that? Or is it because I'm wearing the camera? Oh, act normal, act normal. Like those are the thoughts I had going through my head. And it was just like, when I stopped doing that, and I'm not like, it's different in the thrift store, I feel like, but going up to somebody's house, it's like very personal,
I had the same exact feeling when I was doing it.
I don't want to get banned from those stores. That's my bread and butter there. So I got to be careful. But I don't know. I'll keep doing them just because I don't know what else to do.
I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying my personal, because I get asked all. Excuse me. It was hard to quit because like I made a lot of money by doing that. Like a lot. One video that I made, it was do this at garage sales. And it was one of my better days. Like I was on. Like I was like it's all about the interactions and stuff, and the negotiations and like, good items were out there that day, interesting stuff. And that thing got over 1 million views. And dude, I made over $8,000 on one video. And I was like, no, it was awesome. That's very rare, but even the ones that didn't do that well, they still made a ton of money. So that was hard to stop doing that, but that's how anxious it made me to do that.
Yeah, that first video. So I usually record voiceover after the fact, which I think maybe is not as, people don't like that format maybe, but that first video, the whole voiceover, I'm just saying like, oh, I thought that guy was going to look at me. Oh no, I thought this guy was going to look at me. I was so scared.
Yeah, no, I think there's space for like voiceover content. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Yeah,
I usually like crank the speed up like 800% and then try to get it done because like I was talking about earlier, I'm trying to make these videos like I'm doing this work anyway. Now I got to film this thing twice. I got to film it in the store and then I got to do a voiceover later. It just takes extra time. So But people keep, somebody will comment on them and say, I'm glad you did this. And it makes me think, oh yeah, I guess I got to keep doing it. We'll see what happens in the summer, because I don't want to be walking around with a camera strapped to my chest at garage sales with everybody in the world looking at it. If I can hide it under my coat a little bit, it's a little bit better.
So is that your favorite way to, what is your favorite way to source? Is it garage sales or thrift stores?
I mean, obviously garage sales, you're going to get the better prices, but here, I don't know, like here where I live, people just don't know how to do it. You see like where I grew up, they put a sign on the corner with an arrow, and you go to that arrow and you turn and you go to their house. That's it. Here, everybody puts these signs up like in the busy intersections. So it might be 3, 4, 10 blocks away, and you're driving around for hours trying to find this one sale. You get there and they decided not to even open up that day anyway. So it's hard. It's really hard to do sales here. I usually look on Craigslist. I find like 5 sales I want to go to, and then I'm just hoping to find some more sales along the way. But you never know what you're going to find. If I go to the thrift store, I don't know that I've ever gone to Goodwill and walked out of there without finding something worth selling. But it's happened a lot. Garage sale days, I might be out for 6, 7 hours and I don't buy one single thing. But thrift stores are. I know where that thrift store is. I mean, I look at everything. I sit there for 2 hours scanning everything and trying to find one thing that's worth, even if it's only worth $10 or $20. I'll grab it. So, but obviously, you buy stuff at a garage sale for a quarter, as opposed to the thrift store. The cheapest stuff there is going to be $2 or $3. So it's a big difference.
I don't know if you saw a short I put out from last weekend, but I'm at our first garage sale of the year, actually. And we saw a sign and we're like, oh, let's stop in. We weren't even planning on going to it. And they have all this vinyl. And I said, how much for the records? $5 nickel a piece, 5 cents a piece.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Wow. I guess I'm buying records today. I bought all of them. I'm looking at them now. They're down this aisle here.
I'm scared of records.
What, you scared of, like, what, the grading condition of them?
Yeah, I mean, it's like so many questions. Does this one play? Like, I don't have a record player. I don't know. It looks good to me. I can't tell you for sure. It's only $10. Just buy it. You can find out for yourself. So yeah, and I don't want to stock vinyl mailers either. And then people really yell at me if I pack them up between 2 sheets of cardboard or whatever.
Yeah, right. I feel the same way, but then I had, usually condition is kind of an issue, and then 9 times out of 10 when you find records, they're not really worth the kind that are like resellable anyways. But
maybe 99 out of 100.
True. I mean, it's going to be like gospel and country and big band and all that kind of stuff. But every now and then,
it's usually something that's just on the verge of being something cool. Like somebody has some big band stuff. You're like, they might have a cool jazz record in there, but they almost never do.
But I've had it happen enough times now to where I'm trying to open my mind up, and here is my strategy that I'm going to go with because I've got a couple hundred records again, and I'm going to batch this out. I'm going to take the photos, and then I'm always concerned that because I'm not an expert on vinyl. I can look and see if something has a scratch or whatever, but I'm always worried I'm not going to describe it well enough. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start utilizing that little video clip more. And I have a little thing for my phone that I hang around my neck, and the phone sits right here. And then I have my hands free. I'm going to take each one of those records. I'm going to spin it around in the jacket, show them every corner. And then I'm going to take the vinyl out, and I'm going to do it like that in the light to where they can really see the grooves. And, if there are scuffs, they can see it. And because you can put like up to a minute long video in every listing. It'd take me 30 seconds or so to film, and then I airdrop it to the computer and then click, and it's in the listing. So it's not a big deal. So that's going to be my strategy on these.
Nice.
That's my biggest problem with the eBay app right now is like, why can't I post a video with this thing? Like, I take all of my pictures with it and load them right up into there. Why can't I take a video? I would put a video on every single listing if it was just 10% easier. But for me, I'm just going on my phone, going to a browser, and then going to eBay webpage and uploading it. And
You don't have the app?
I don't have like a good way to transfer from a video from my phone wirelessly. You know, I don't know how to do that. So if I was going to do that, I have to put it on Google Drive or something and then download it. It's just too much work for something that's probably not going to help me get a sale anyway. But I do post those videos, you know, on eBay. You can do that social sharing, and it can post your little videos directly to YouTube or to Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
There's a social sharing option on eBay.
Huh?
Where you
Really?
can share your new listings directly, automatically. And you can also share videos, the video that you have in your listing.
Wait, let me look. I'm looking at.
It should be under marketing. I think.
On the phone? Is it on the phone?
On the desktop.
On desktop?
On your browser. Okay. Yeah. So you go to your regular seller hub, and then under marketing, there's a thing that says social, and you can post directly to all social media platforms.
Oh, I don't want to do that.
So I do these videos like they're just little demos. Like, here's a bop it. You know, I just want to show that it works. And those things are like my biggest views on YouTube. And it's absolutely nothing. It's just turn the bop it on, turn the bop it off, and then it's got 20,000 views on it or whatever.
What? That's wild.
Are you doing that on this channel?
Yeah. Yes. And it's just like, I mean, it's not really related to the other kind of content that I post. It's just, let's see if somebody will see this video and then come and buy this thing.
Okay.
Yeah, you can post directly to Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube from there. And
from
Pinterest
eBay.
if you do that from eBay.
I see. They're under your shorts. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So those boppets, like, what does one have? Like
55,000.
55,000 views.
Oh, look, you got, man, you're the bop it guy. Look, he's got three.
Wait, I sold 3 of those. I just shipped one yesterday.
Wait, let me I'm gonna share screen again, Ryan.
Yep.
And we'll show what we're talking about here for the people. Here we go. Yeah, so this is
wow.
the shorts feed ordered from most popular here. And Bop It is doing very well for you.
55,000, 18,000.
So 10 seconds, 50,000 views.
Wow.
Is that getting like any subscribers and things like that?
I can't imagine it is. I would be very surprised if it is.
I'm gonna show y'all something. I'm gonna open the kimono up real quick. Because I've got, okay, this is another one of my channels. This is like my oldest channel that I was uploading just like random stuff to over the years. And it doesn't make a ton of money. Let me see. I'm not even sure how to go to this. Y'all can see like 40. Wait, hang on. Let me go back here. It's made $63 in the past 30 days. It's been monetized forever. But I still get, and I used to put demo videos on this channel a lot.
Oh yeah.
And okay, let's look at this thing right here, for instance, this Cricut thing. We sold that, I believe, that's an older model. I think we sold that thing for like $25. It totally wasn't worth it. This is how much we've made on that video. That was a demo video that I shot to try and help sell that thing. And it's made like 15 times what the stupid thing sold for.
That's
and
crazy.
I know. I've got so many examples of this. Here's another one, a Sony Handycam. That's kind of a newer one. Let me see. Well, we'll go ahead and look at it. This is from July of last year. I don't know if this one's done well or not. It's doing okay.
$15.
Made $15. So what I used to do is I would put those into the let me turn this thing off.
Into the listing.
I would put the link to those into the listing, and I would film like, it'd be like 3 to 5 minutes. And I did that with like pretty much all the electronics. I've got so many things that I've made like over $100 on YouTube, and they made way more money than I made on eBay.
Than the actual item. It's crazy.
Right.
Yeah,
When I started on YouTube, I really didn't ever even think about monetization. I was, like I said earlier, I was just trying to sell more stuff, hoping to sell more stuff. But there's a few other people who started around the same time as me on YouTube, and I just keep an eye on how they're doing. And one guy did his like, here's my first month of monetization breakdown, and he was talking about, I made 67 cents my first day, I made 23 cents the second day, and I was expecting that kind of thing. When it finally monetization hit, I was like, okay, well, let's get our quarter, and then the first day, this is when my wife got really excited. She was like, $8, you made $8 in one day? I was like, yeah, I guess I did. So I feel like, I guess I'm doing pretty good. That other guy seems to be doing better than me, but he's barely making any money. So I don't know. I've been kind of thinking, is it possible by the end of the year I'm making more money on YouTube than on eBay? Which I think that is possible. And I reveal all of my, I probably shouldn't, but I tell everybody every cent I make. Like this thing, I subtract the shipping, I do everything and say, here's the exact profit. At the end of the year, this is exactly how much money I made this year. Profit. I don't like it when people say, like, here's my gross. Like, I don't care what your gross is.
Really
I don't know
anything.
what your cost of goods, what are your expenses? So I just reveal everything. So I made one video about YouTube 2 months in. This is exactly how much money I made. And I don't know if people want to see that stuff, but I would want to see that. Like,
so how much was it?
The first 2 months was something like, right now it's been basically 3 months, November, and I'm at like 1,000, just over $1,000.
Wow,
maybe
solid.
1,060 or something like that. And it seems like each month is just a little bit more than the month before. So I'm just keeping that in mind. Like this could just keep growing and growing. And I know the temptation is there to just say, well, I'm a YouTuber now. Let that eBay stuff go. But my heart is with the eBay stuff more than the YouTube stuff.
Well, you got to think too, is like if you stop doing eBay, what are you going to talk about?
Right.
Your channel is based on that, like all around that. So
I know some people have kind of moved on. They're doing only whatnot shows or whatever, and the eBay the YouTube makes them their real money. But I don't know. I'm just going to keep. The fun part is going out hunting for treasures and stuff. So I'm going to keep doing that.
For us, I think I had this same conversation with, I don't know, Ryan, did I have this conversation with Kevin or with Rev? I don't remember. Maybe I don't remember
either.
But for us, the reselling has always been the main thing. Obviously, the YouTube thing is a huge part of our income as well, but it's still not as much as the reselling. And one thing that I do regret, because I've always felt like I've left a lot on the table as far as that goes, like as far as monetizing every single thing. And I'm really bad. I almost feel guilty when I ask people for things, or I'm like, would y'all buy this to help me out?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not even comfortable asking for subscribers. And there's a difference between there's a point at which this is part of what we do for a living, and I need to recognize that, and I need to monetize it harder. But then I never want to steer. I never want to like ask people for anything, because I'm just so grateful that they're just watching. That's the way I feel.
Yeah, I'm struggling a little bit right now, because right when like the day I hit 1,000 subscribers, I got an email from a printer company, and they wanted me to just do an unboxing, and we'll give you a free printer, and we'll give you a discount code to share. And I opened that thing on camera, and I did not like it. And I left that video up. I
Yeah.
was like, I was criticizing it, and like they never said anything to me about it, but that thing weighed like 2 ounces. Like you couldn't even tear the label off. It just lift the whole printer up. And it also had some kind of app that they wanted to know your location, and you wanted to make an account and give them your email address. I don't want to do any of this stuff. So in the video, I said, if you want a cheap printer that you're going to use with a USB cable, then this is fine. But I left that code up in my description. You know, if somebody wants to buy it, they can get 12% off.
I've always been resistant. I've always been resistant to that exact thing. And we have this Jaden's printer.
Yeah.
That I don't know why they sent me a pink one, but they did. And they sent me that for free. And we reviewed it. Like I reviewed the unboxing setup, and like I'm not lying. We had a Dymo. Was it 350 XL or something? I can't.
4XL.
4X. Oh yeah, Dymo 4XL. That's it. And I like that stupid little Jaden's printer better than that, because I like how easy it is to load the labels, and like it's been rock solid for a year. But let me tell you what these people did. These Jaden's people, they're nice, but they gave me the code like to share out, and I don't even like sharing the code out because the code works on their website. But I go to their website and look, and they're selling the printer cheaper on Amazon than they are on their own website. And I'm like, what are you doing here? Like you're kind of screwing me on that. But but my review of that thing has a lot of views. It has like, I don't know, 50,000 plus views. And I've made money on that video as well. But
I think just today somebody in the water cooler was asking, what's the name of that printer that Lonnie uses?
Yeah, and they specifically said wireless, and so I went in. I saw you commented, thank you. But I did go in, and I tried. I wanted to make it crystal clear that it's wireless, but it's Bluetooth, and it only works through their proprietary app that you have to install. And I don't like that. We just use it plugged into. We just use it hardwired to the computer, which is fine, you know. But it's a great printer, you know.
I mean, it's got to be one of the most common questions on that Facebook group. Like, what brand printer should I get? And I always try to say, get whatever the cheapest one is. Who cares? But everybody always says, get a Rollo, get a Rollo. Like, well, I had this Nelco printer. I've had it for 3 years, haven't had a single problem with it, and I could buy 10 of them for the same cost as the Rollo. So I'll if this one breaks, I'll just buy another one.
I think a lot of that is, and Ryan was talking about this with the expensive dinner he had the other night. A lot of that is once somebody pays a lot of money for something, they want to, they feel like they have to defend that thing so they don't feel like a fool for paying that much money for it. You know what I mean?
I suspect those printers are all made in the same factory. They got to be. Just put a different label on it.
Yeah. But there was a time when Rollo first came out that it was like, that was like, because there weren't all these printers that like do this, you know, to close up. Those didn't exist at one point. It was all like the Dymo style.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden Rollo comes out, and it's like this new revolutionary thing. But now they're a dime a dozen. Yeah, I would just get a cheap one. But dude, buckle up, because you are about to get just an onslaught of printers. And have you been getting AI companies? Because like we get sponsorship deals from AI companies every single day.
All I really get is people saying, I can help you fix your titles and your thumbnails and get you more views. That's the main thing, the main emails I get. But even those are pretty few and far between.
I still get those all the time. Yeah. I didn't take many brand deals when I was doing YouTube, because I was always self-conscious about that as well. Like I didn't want to ever promote an item that I wasn't using myself.
Yeah.
So I think I only, funny enough, I think I only took one brand deal on Thrift Mine, and it was something that wasn't even reselling related. It was a knife set.
Oh, yeah.
I got paid to promote these knives, which I use. They're like these really nice Japanese knives, super sharp.
I'll take
But
some knives.
yeah, I did take that one. It made sense
And
at the time. So
when I do promote something, I mean, to me, it has to be a great product, and
yep.
I feel personally accountable. Stupid as that is, I like if that company fails, I feel personally accountable for that company failing that customer that I referred to them. Because I remember I had a viewer had an issue with a Bubble Boy order one time, and he's like, Lonnie, that I clicked on your link and I bought it, and it hadn't gotten here, and they said it has, and I think they're scamming me, and I'm like, and then so you know what I did? I messaged, because I have Joel's, the CEO, founder, whatever, cell phone number, and I messaged him about this one bubble wrap order, and Joel messaged me right back, and then he got the customer taken care of. But that's like when I recommend a company out, like that's the kind of relationship I kind of want to have with them in case something does go
Right.
wrong. So I recommend Bubble Boy. That's the. Is there anything else I'm really recommend? I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
I'm all in on Bubble Boy though. I am.
I went out to one of their warehouses to pick up some
Oh, really?
some rolls of bubble wrap. I was really like, once I got there and I saw how big it was, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to fit this in my car. And I really had to compress it down and squeeze it in there. But it's right by, is it Glendale Heights? Like, I live really close to that eBay International Shipping Hub. So I went over there and made a little short out in front of there talking about it. And I was just thinking, like, security is going to come and get me. I'm sitting out here in a car. And that place, I can't remember the name of it, but it's not eBay. Like eBay, they source that work out. It's like some kind of logistics company. So there's not any hint of eBay around that warehouse.
It used to be like Pitney Bowes or somebody like that ran it, I think.
I can't remember what it's called. I wrote it on I went out there and I got some boxes from a guy off Facebook Marketplace and some bubble wrap, and I wrote it on the box, the name of the company, and then 6 months later I shipped that box out with that name of that company on it. I was like, oh yeah, I remember I was out there, but I don't remember what it's called now. Just some generic name, like a shipping company.
So you went to American Bubble Boy?
Yeah.
You went to their warehouse?
Yes. I don't know how many they have. Maybe 20 across the country.
I think 15? It's like 8 or 9.
Yeah, I don't know. But this one is probably like 40 minutes, 25, 40 minutes for me. It was weird. Like it's just like an open garage door. And I pulled up and some guys who work there, standing outside smoking cigarettes, that's it. They just said, there's your stuff right there. I was in and out of there in 20 seconds.
But it's like, it's like super cheap when you pick it up, right?
Yeah, it's a lot cheaper. But you got to have a truck. I just got a little car and I was squeezing that in there.
Yeah, those 700-foot rolls are freaking massive.
Yeah, I think I got 8 of them.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And I thought, like, am I gonna have to make 2 trips out here? This is gonna suck. But I got them in the car.
Wait, so you put like 5,600 feet of bubble wrap in your car?
Something. I got
a mile of bubble wrap.
Rolls in there. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
It was a little bit weird. I was thinking, like, isn't anybody going to say hello or welcome or goodbye or thank you or anything? Like, nobody said a single word to me. They just pointed, like, get those right there, and then I did.
Well, they're not really set up as a retail location. That's
right.
Why,
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's just like dock workers hanging around there. I know that job. I did those kind of jobs for years. Just you don't want to be like, I'm on my break, man. I'm trying to smoke this cigarette.
That's cool. I never, I've always wondered like, what's that like? Like going, because I wish we had a Bubble Boy warehouse close enough, man, to where I could get it that cheap.
Tell Joel to hook you up.
That's when I figured, like, I'm close enough. I should go check out this international shipping hub and see what it looks like. And I expected a big eBay logo, on the side of the building, but there's nothing like that at all.
So Bubble Boy is right there pretty around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes
yeah.
sense.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm way out on like the northwest side of Chicago. I'm 3 houses from the border of the city. So the they're out there somewhere, you know, Glendale. Every city in Illinois has a name that sounds like every other city, so it gets confusing. I'm sure there's a Glenview Heights and a Glendale Heights.
You're gonna enjoy if you go check out Craigslist Hunter that I was talking about earlier. He's in the Chicago area. He's
Oh,
in
is that right?
Crystal Lake, I think,
Oh, yeah, okay.
which
Yeah.
I
Oh
believe
yeah,
is
so he's
pretty close.
he's local. Yeah,
Yeah,
to
that's
you.
not too
That's
far
right.
from here, I don't think. Probably
Yeah.
40 minutes, 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow.
What do you have any
Well,
like questions for us or anything, Chris? Because we've been going.
Well,
man,
I mean, we touched on it a little bit earlier, but I was thinking about like at this point, I don't feel like YouTube is like my career, you know, or even like has anything to do with my 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 personality or anything. Like, was there a time when you were like, okay, yeah, I'm a YouTuber now?
for me,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's actually a good question. Because I think I did consider myself a YouTuber eventually, but when that happened, I don't know when. Maybe when
what
I
does
hit.
that?
Yeah,
What does
what does
that
that
mean?
mean?
Like what?
I don't know. I mean, there's people who are like YouTube famous and you've never even heard of them. So all of a sudden, like I just saw today a list, like here's the most viewed YouTube channels, and I never heard of a single one of them. It's interesting.
You know what I'm picking up from this, Chris? I'll be honest with you. Like from this whole thing, you seem like you're like really like not wanting to be a YouTuber. It seems like like seriously, like it feels like you're trying to resist it. Like it's, but yet you also want to do really well at it, but you also don't want to be that. Am I picking up like the right signal here, or?
Well, I mean, I like doing it. I mean, it is fun, and I feel like every time I get a little bit better, it feels good. And but I just don't know. It's like, is this going to be like? It seems like some people like this is their whole thing. You know, I am a YouTuber, and that's how I present myself in the world. And I don't know if I'll ever feel like I could do that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I haven't been doing it for 10 years or 12 years, like maybe 15 years for you guys.
I don't present myself as a YouTuber. Like if somebody says, "What do you do?" I'm a reseller. That's what I say.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But
yeah.
But that doesn't tell the whole story, though.
I guess when people would ask me about it, I would say, or I would have said, like, "Oh, I do YouTube." I'd never be like, "Oh, I'm a YouTuber."
Yeah.
Because I'm in the same boat as you, Chris. I have a full-time job as well, and I was doing reselling part-time, and I still do. And I was doing reselling part-time and juggling that with YouTube, and it was never like my set full-time income. Like it you know, I made great money and stuff, of course, but it was never like my full identity, I guess, or what I did for a living. So
that's it.
Is that kind of what you're getting at?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I never hit the point of where YouTube was making more than my day. Well, a few months I actually made. A few months in the span of the 4 or 5 years that I was doing YouTube, I made more on YouTube than I did on my day job. But it wasn't, you know, every month. And yeah, I just never considered it my full-time gig, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I would just say I do YouTube when people ask. I'm not like a YouTuber.
I don't identify as a YouTuber because I sound like I don't identify. That's weird. I don't identify myself like my identity isn't as a YouTuber because I feel like I'm on YouTube only insofar as I cover the thing that I really am, which is a reseller. And with outside of the context of reselling, YouTube doesn't exist for me. So I feel like it's an add-on feature to reselling versus I'm a YouTuber that resell. It's always, and also there's always been kind of a stigma, like some of these guys that have really hit it big in this space as a YouTuber, like they start getting questioned. Are you legitimately a
Right. Yeah.
reseller, or are you just a
Right.
huge and that seems to mess with some of their heads. And I don't want like I don't want to. Actually, I do. I'd love to make about $100,000 a month on YouTube, to be honest, and deal with that issue. But
I'd be happy with 100,000 a year.
Right.
I
I'd
would
be
be
ecstatic about that. I'm trying to retire early, so I think I'm probably about the same age as you, Lonnie. But I might be older than you. I was born in January of '74.
Oh no, I'm older than you. I'm
Oh,
older
yeah.
than you. Yeah, I'm older than you by about. I was born in September of '73.
Oh, okay, yeah. So just a few
So
months. So
yeah,
if I can retire at 55, and I've just got like 3 more years, and I'm thinking I could be making like right now. This year I expect to make almost exactly the same amount as I make at my day job on just selling on eBay. That doesn't include any of the other like YouTube money or whatever.
Mhm.
So I figured if I can get that, if I can like almost double that in 3 years, then I can just take it easy. And I don't hate my job or anything, but I just don't want to have to get up and go to work, when
yeah,
somebody
Right.
else has control
Yeah.
over me. So if I could retire at 55, then I'm going to do it. I
and then
pretty much have already decided I'm doing it no matter what. So
and well, yeah, and YouTube's going to help you out with that too, right? Like,
if I'm working like basically 2 hours a day on eBay and I'm making as much money as I am 8 hours a day at the other job, if I could work 4 hours a day on eBay, maybe I could do a little bit better than
right,
I'm doing at the other job.
Yep.
And my wife got a pretty big raise a couple of years ago, so I'm happy with that too. Yeah.
YouTube
Yeah.
could definitely change that, and it could definitely change it very quickly. I'll tell you that.
What do you guys think about taxes, paying taxes? I've been doing these tax returns myself, and I don't know if I'm doing them right, and it gets more and more hairy every year.
I have a tax guy.
Yeah.
That's my answer.
I do it myself, and I don't. That's one thing. I don't ever talk accounting. I don't
Yeah.
talk tax. I don't talk any of that on YouTube ever, because like if you want to get criticized, if you think getting criticized about packing, you think people would be
yeah.
critical about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely a different tax situation when you're working for yourself, though. There's no doubt about that.
I mean, I always had just W-2 jobs, regular jobs,
Right.
and then it's real easy. So I've done those taxes myself for, I don't know, 40 years, and then all of a sudden, we got rental, this upstairs rental. We got money coming in from that. That's complicated already. Then the eBay stuff is complicated, and then adding on to that now all this YouTube stuff. So I'm dragging my feet on it this year. I don't really want to do it. Gets me. I'm yelling at people like. I asked my wife, "Hey, Jessica, where's this document?" And she says, "Which document?" I said I want that document. I need that document. Like, I'm just so stressed out about it. So I probably will be finding some kind of a accountant, but even that's complicated. Finding somebody that can. It's a weird business.
I think it's going to get weirder for you too, because I'm telling you, not too long before we started this show, Ryan and I were looking, like, because we've both been kind of looking at your channel, just seeing how you progress, and I could kind of see how your mind works, probing different things and trying it, and you find success and whatnot. I said, this dude's gonna get a viral soon. You're gonna hit. No, you will. You're gonna hit some virals, man, and you're gonna be really successful with. I truly believe that. You just need if
Stick
you
with
keep
it
on the
stick with it.
A hard time, like I'm not gonna. Early on, I tried like, let's put on some YouTube voice and welcome back to the channel, guys. That kind of stuff. I was like, this is not for me. So I think that some people would be like, why is this boring? Why does anybody want to watch this boring guy?
No, but that's what makes you great, because you're being authentic. You're being yourself.
I do get a lot of comments saying that my voice is calming and they like to listen to me to go to sleep. Like, oh, that's weird, but you do what you got to do.
I feel like you and I probably hit a lot of the same audience, Chris. And also,
I never feel like you're putting on a character.
I try not to. Sometimes I'm a little over the top, but I'm really like Ryan could probably attest to that. Like in
Yeah. Oh
person,
yeah.
I'm
Yep.
a little much sometimes, actually.
In a good way.
Ryan, have I ever made you uncomfortable though? Like, whoa, this
Uh,
dude's going too far this time.
no. No. Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
You're lying.
No, I'm not.
Dude. Okay. What about the first time, like the reseller rally we met at in
Yeah.
the last in Cincinnati? I was a little over the top there.
Like
Talk
the whole
about that a
time,
little
you
bit.
mean? What do
Talk
you
about
mean?
that
Like
reseller rally.
Oh,
Sorry.
you want to talk about it?
Yeah.
Because
So,
I
are
was
you
looking
going?
at it. I see the tickets are for sale, but there's nothing that says this is what the reseller rally is. So it's kind of hard to know. Do we want to
you know
go to
what?
that?
Oh,
That's great feedback, because the reseller rally is being put on by John Cincinnati Picker. Do you watch his channel ever, or have you?
I've seen some of it. Like I saw, recently since you talked to him.
Okay. So what it is basically, I don't know, Ryan, what do you think it is? Maybe you
the
can do a
rally?
better job.
It's
Yeah.
mostly so it's a get together in Cincinnati where people from it's mostly people that like follow the big hosts on YouTube. Well, this year John's hosting it, right? Pretty much.
He's a sole host. Yep.
He's the sole host. So it's where people can go who like follow these different channels, and it's just a big get together of a bunch of resellers, and we all kind of we all pretty much stay in the same hotel, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because
And then
there's a networking event on Friday night. There's going to be a networking
Yeah.
event with drinking and socializing and all that. And then the next day is going to be the riverboat cruise, where it's like a dinner cruise, and there's going to be games and more mixer type things. And
Yep.
really, it's a chance for resellers to come to, like you were talking about earlier, just resellers to come together, get to know each other, have fun. A lot of times people go out like garage sailing or thrifting in groups, and just getting a chance to meet each other. Like if you went to it, for instance, you would probably, like, the first one I went to was in 2017, which I had actually less subscribers than you do now, I think, because you're like coming in on like 2,000 subs now, right,
Yeah,
Chris?
I think I just went over 1,900 today.
Okay. I had less subscribers than you have now in 2017. And in that reseller, that was the first reseller rally that year. And it was actually in Chicago, in Schaumburg.
I like that idea.
Because Pete hosted it that year, right?
Yeah, Craigslist Hunter that I was telling you about hosted it in Schaumburg, Illinois. And that's when I went up there, and I was going to see people like Pete and some other resellers that I had seen on YouTube. And lo and behold, I get there and I have all these people coming up to me. Like if you went to this event, you would have a bunch of people coming up to you saying, "Man, I watch all your videos.
Yep.
I love your content. Thank you." And you would get to meet a lot of your viewers at this kind of thing. And just like when I was kind of and you would probably be meeting people that you watch. But I hesitate to describe it as just a YouTuber event, because it's not. Right. There's like just resellers getting to know each other. But a lot of people like will recognize each other from like the comments or maybe Facebook groups or things like that too. So, but it's really a get together, a party. There's not like serious panels or like education
none of
type
that.
things.
It's a hangout, get together.
It is. It's just a lot of fun.
Fun time. Yeah.
So yeah. But I'm glad you asked that question, because like if you went to that web page and you're still asking and you're saying, what is this? What what do they do there? Then that means there's trouble with the page. And I need.
Well,
I need to
basically what you said was what I assumed. But I thought, is there going to be serious panels? I didn't know.
Yep.
That's great feedback, though, Chris. So I'll tell John about that. I think he's already sold over half the tickets, but I'll tell John about that. Hey, John, you need to tell the people what exactly this is, because he's assuming everybody knows, because they did one back in 2023.
Right.
In the same look, and in 2021. So he's probably just assuming, hey, y'all, it's time for the reseller rally.
Right.
You
Same
know?
people, they know what it is. Somebody like me,
Right.
I never even heard of that. So I'm just here in my own little world doing my own little thing. So
right.
I don't
right.
know.
But
I don't like on this channel, I hear you guys talking about like people's names. I'm like, oh, who are they talking about? Who are they talking about?
So you don't really watch much YouTube yourself, do you?
I watch a few things, but early on I was like trying to learn, let's see like what kind of things I should be looking for and whatever. So I hit on a few people that I stick with, and then a lot of people just didn't click with me. So I basically watch you and Candace pretty much every video that comes out. I don't always get to all of the packing videos. I don't watch all of Commonwealth Kevin stuff, but sometimes those titles you were talking about, sometimes they just trick me into watching them, even though I know exactly what he's going to say. I watch those anyway.
Good. That means it was effective, right?
That's right. Yeah. And then I also usually watch Justin Resells. You know him. He's
I don't know
he's
him.
Pretty good for like a new people, but once you're doing it for a while, you're not going to get that much good advice from him once you know what you're doing.
That's something I want to tell you. A little piece of advice that I need myself is that, like, I figure that once I say something, I don't need to say it again because I already said it. But the fact is, like what you just said, most, I would say, like not all, but most people that are watching YouTube resellers are fairly new, not always, but fairly new. And the turnover on those, because like people will watch, I've seen a lot of times people will watch me for 6 months to a year, and I see them in the comments, and then all of a sudden they're gone. And they probably just got tired of seeing the same thing, or they moved on or whatever. The turnover in this space for your viewership is pretty extreme. As a matter of fact, you'll see a lot of channels that have 100, 200,000, 300,000 subs, and some of them do really well. Some of them don't get as many views as my channel does.
Yeah.
Because the turnover happened and they're not getting any, they're not getting, like, you constantly have to get new viewers. And the whole reason I brought that up is don't be afraid to repeat yourself, because there's a good chance like 75% of who you're talking to after 6 months didn't hear it the first time, because we're saying things and referring to things, you have no idea what we're talking. You're like, what? Who is that? What is that?
Yeah.
And we just assume that everybody knows,
I almost never, I don't ever introduce myself. I think I probably said my name on the channel once, maybe twice. I just never think to do that. And sometimes I'll be like halfway through an introduction and I think I didn't even say the word eBay. Like, these people don't necessarily know what I'm talking about, but I just usually just go with it. They'll figure it out from the context.
Right.
I would probably introduce. I would probably say your name every video, like at the beginning. I would think about it, like I do, like we do that. Like, hello, welcome back to the shed. I'm Lonnie. I'm Candace. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Or makes it more personal.
Right. Welcome back to I'm gonna pack it. I'm Lonnie. I'm Candace.
I get worried about that first 30 seconds, like if I'm boring somebody by telling them my name, I just got to get right into it. So sometimes I just jump right to usually whatever my title is going to be, that's just the first thing I say. Like, let's go. We're going to do this thing.
That's smart. Cut right to the chase. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Ryan, this
the
is
good news is
longest.
The good news is a lot of people. No, you're fine. The good news is a lot of people are going to watch this and learn a lot about Chris. 2 hours worth.
Yeah, great.
Officially the longest episode yet, which is awesome. This has been great.
You may not have to watch Chris's channel now. We got everything out
Yeah,
of him
yeah,
right
yeah.
here.
We covered everything.
I do make long videos, so that's what I like to do.
I will. I did want to say real quick as well. I will leave a link down in the description below to Chris's channel. Did you have? Is that just what you have? Just your YouTube channel?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So I'll put your YouTube channel down in the description below. Go give him a sub, and go check out his channel. So
Yeah,
Thank you,
this
guys.
has been fun though. I really appreciate you
appreciate
coming
it.
on, Chris. Yeah.
It's exciting to have a chance to talk to you guys. I really appreciate it.
no, this is really fun, man. And that's one of the things, like, I know when we started this podcast, we came out of the gate pretty hard because, like, this is YouTube and you have to capture people's attention and you got to get them to watch. And this is
Yeah.
a new project for us. And so we came out and we played off of the whole Commonwealth and trash to cash guys and whatnot. And although everything that happened on those episodes was 100% real, I was not like I actually did have beef with him, and
Yeah.
or whatever.
I thought
like,
that was beautiful. I really enjoyed hearing you talk to Kevin on their podcast. I just thought, like, this is like a breath of fresh air. These guys are just always making fun of each other, and then Lonnie comes in and just like sincerely apologize and say, I got my feelings hurt. And it was really nice to hear some adult men just being actual humans.
It felt weird at the time. And it was very awkward because I know typically they aren't that serious on their show. And here I come in like, oh no, I'm serious, guys. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because I like to cut up and joke and stuff as much as the next person, but I was very serious about all of that. Everything that's happened on this podcast up to date has been serious.
Yep.
Like, we joke, but like none of this is put on. None of this is done for drama purposes or anything like that. Although we do recognize the fact that did help kickstart this channel.
Right.
But the reason I'm saying all this is because what Ryan and I have talked about for quite a while now is, like, one of the things that we really want to do is give back. We want to help people. We want situations where there's a win, win, win. We want to win. We want to help people like Chris that are deserving, that are doing good things and need more exposure, because Ryan and I both had this done for us.
Yep.
When we were first starting up. Like if we can help Chris along the way on his journey to, having a better retirement or retiring early or whatever it is, then we want to do that. And we also want our audience to win by discovering new creators with a fresh, different voice or perspective that is already out there. Because, the guys like me, guys like Ryan, we don't need help. We're already established. Whatever our results are a result of how good or bad our work is at the time, But guys like Chris, he may or may not, it's not always fair on YouTube as far as exposure goes. Or like with Rev Resell from last week. So we're going to continue to have, we're going to have Cincinnati Picker's going to be sitting in your chair next week, and he doesn't need any help.
So you're pushing Candace back again?
Well, she's coming soon. She'll be here soon. But if we do spot another opportunity that we both feel strongly about, that we want to bring exposure to, we'll do it again. But that's something that's really important. That's what, when we've been asked, like, what is this for? One thing that is for this right here, to bring some fresh faces and fresh voices to the scene that we think you guys will enjoy.
And I sure appreciate the opportunity. So thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
This has been fun.
It has been. And thanks a bunch to everyone that has been giving us feedback and watching us too. It's been, I have no anxiety.
Very grateful.
I haven't had anxiety reading these comments. I'll say that.
No, it's been great. Yeah, I love the feedback, guys. We really appreciate it. But definitely go give Chris Hot Lunch Reselling a follow. And again, thank you, Chris, for being on. Thank you. Fun. All right, you guys. We'll see you.
Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.
And